So we also had a schedule for today, the stem changing verbs, those verbs that end with, that require the stem change to an IE instead of an I, as we saw with decir. I wanted to prepare this video so you can go over the discussion because you need to complete some activities on Connect and have this anytime. Anyway, we're going to start going over this tomorrow in case that you don't have time to watch this video. But for those of you, this is the discussion. So verbs like querer, querer, it's a verb that requires that that E that is present on the stem, it has to be replaced for an IE. That's why the stem of quiero, okay, it's that E it's present. For the two, we say quieres, so the E it's present as well. And for the rest of the conjugations, as quiere and quieren, but when it comes to nosotros, as we have seen, that nosotros doesn't follow this pattern. So a verb from the second conjugation, so it's infinitive, it ends with er, as querer, the E on the stem, it's replaced by an IE, and we just add the ending that belongs to those verbs that end with er, as quiero, quieres, quiere, queremos, and quiere. The stem vowel is the E, it changes to an IE, and you can see that querer is completely regular because these endings are the ones that we use with verbs of the er conjugation, okay? Other verbs that behave like querer, we have empezar, to start, empezar, and pensar. By the way, querer is to like, to want, to desire. So it's a synonym. It has a lot of synonyms. Querer, to want or wish. And empezar is to start and pensar to think. So if we take a look at empezar, we are not dealing with a verb that ends with er. This is a verb that ends with ar. And it also requires a stem change. So I need to work with that vowel. So see here that we have empez, until that zeta. But in this case, we have two vowels. But the one that carries or that requires the change is the one that carries the strength on the pronunciation. So that's why, because we say empezar, we don't say empezar, we say empezar, even though the accent of that word resides over that sar syllable, okay, within the stem, the one that has more strength, it's pez, or pez. So the second E, it's the one that you are going to work with. And in this case, you're going to replace it with an IE. And you just add the endings because you treat it as querer, the regular endings. Empiezo, empiezas, empieza, but then empezamos, because this is not valid for the nosotros, and for the third person plural, we have empieza. What happens with pensar? The same thing. Pensar, my stem goes until the S, and the E that is present here must be changed for an IE. Therefore, we say pienso, piensas, piensa, but when it comes to the nosotros, back to the original verb, pensamos and piensan. See that in both instances, we have included the A because the ending of these infinitive verbs, it's an R, and for our verbs, the vowel, it's present on the conjugation. So we can say, summarizing, that the verbs that require a stem change from that E to an IE, they will reflect that change for the persons or the pronouns that belong to yo, tú, él, y ellos. So all the conjugations belong, all the pronouns require a conjugation except the nosotros. So there's no stem change for nosotros, okay? And tener is also a member of this family. So think about tener. Tener, we already have dealt with it. And tener will reflect that change. So if you take a look at tener, find out how do you conjugate it, because we say tengo, so it's not, there's no change for the yo, so it's an exception for tener, for the yo. But then from the two, we need to change the E, this first E for an IE, and we say tienes, then tiene, then back to the nosotros, tenemos, and when we arrive to ellos, tienen, and this is a verb that we already know, okay? And on page 115, take a look at this exercise that it's asking you, ¿a dónde quieren ir? ¿A dónde quieren ir? Which refers to where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? And see the column on the left and the column on the right, okay? We're going to discuss this tomorrow during class, but starting by the left, ¿quieren comer en un restaurante? So here we have verb querer conjugated for the third person plural, right? Quieren, quieren. So who is going to answer? When we have a verb conjugated over that third person, we need to answer from the nosotros. So here we have querer, it's joined by another verb, comer. So we need to see on the options on the right, the one that includes comer conjugated. So here, let me see. Or a phrase that refers to the act of eating, comer. And we can say that letter C, it's the best option here. See that the answer is no, no tenemos hambre. No, we are not hungry. To that question of, do you want to eat in a restaurant? No, no tenemos hambre. See that verb tener, it's conjugated for de nosotros. Then for the second one, we have, ¿a dónde quieren ir? ¿A dónde quieren ir? So here we are asking, where do you want to go? So also that querer, it's conjugated for the third person. So we need to see or look for a queremos on the right. But we have the option of the A. Si queremos ver una película de terror. So we are saying, si, yes, we want to see terror movie, okay? Or a movie of terror. So we're not talking about watching a movie. We have vamos a la playa, vamos a la playa, okay? It's talking about, it will fill another one of the options on the left, because vamos a la playa, you are talking about definitely that you want to go to a certain place, but you are also able to swim on the beach, at the beach. ¿A dónde quieren ir? Letter D, queremos ir al parque. Queremos ir al parque, so that's the best answer here. We have querer conjugated for de nosotros, and also we are talking about a place. Queremos ir al parque. We want to go to the park. And take a look at the way that the phrase is elaborated. We have queremos followed by the infinitive form of ir, the verb ir itself. So queremos ir al parque, that expression giving us the sense of going to a place. Queremos ir al parque. ¿Quieren ver la universidad? It's number 3. Do you want to see the university? So also it's addressed from the ellos point of view. So a nosotros it's going to answer to that question. Que quieren ver la universidad, letter E. Sí, queremos ver dónde estudias. Yes, we want to see where do you study. So that Queremos reflects and answers back quieren. And ver, it's repeated here in the expression as it was on the question. Queremos ver. Then we have two other options. We have letters A and B that are left. Quieren ir a nadar. So we have quieren ir a nadar. Letter B refers to a place. We already saw this. C, vamos a la playa. So do you want to swim? Yes, let's go to the beach. And finally, letter A, quieren ir al cine. Do you want to go to the movies? Queremos ver una película de terror. Yes, we want to see or we want to watch a terror movie, a movie of terror. Okay, so see that expression, all of these verbs on the right are conjugated on de nosotros because the questions have been presented conjugated from the third person plural. Okay, and we are going to go over this discussion starting tomorrow. Okay, that's all. Let's see us again. Hasta mañana.